Hi there, welcome back to Resin by Drew. Today I'm going to make a heart-shaped trinket tray with, I'm not sure whether to use, I've got a teddy bear mould and I've got a rabbit mould and I don't know which to use, so I'm going to make both of them up from the resin and then decide. I've also got a druzy crystal mould that I'm going to use, so I'm going to make that up as well. Although the moulds that I've got, the moulds from Let's Resin, and it's a very deep mould, I'm not going to use the full depth of the mould, I'm only going to make it quite shallow. I'm going to put some glass crystals in, I'm going to put some opaque pigments in, and I'm going to put some gilding foil in. It's the sheets that I've crushed up to make into flakes, and they will go more into flakes when I put some resin in as well. So let's get started by adding the crystals to the heart shape first of all. I don't want too many. Just want a little bit of texture. I like them to stand a little bit proud of the resin base, so I'm just going to build them up a little bit. So I've put my crystals in. I'll pour some resin on those in a few minutes to set those in. But first of all, I want to make my colours up. So I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of resin into the cup that's got the gold foil in it. I want that to be quite thick so it'll stay where I want it when I put it in. I think this paper cup's probably about ready for throwing away now. I think I've reused it as many times as I maybe can. But you watch, I'll be using this the next couple of times I'm doing gold foil or gold glitter, and I'll still be saying the same thing. But I do like to reuse my cups over and over, even the paper disposable ones. Okay, so for my colours, I'm going to use Resin8. It's an opaque pigment and it's called Hazelnut Latte. It's a lovely looking colour, I've not used it before. And I'm also going to use Resin8 Opaque White pigment. So I'm going to make those up. So I'm going to add a little bit of resin to each of the cups that I'm putting that into. I'm going to make a little bit more of the Hazelnut Latte one than I am the white. I only want a little bit of the white, but I want more of the Hazelnut Latte one. So I'm just going to make a bit more of that one. That's because I want to put that into the bear and the rabbit as well. Oh yeah, it's a lovely colour, that. Look, it's a nice colour. Let me just get some stir sticks. So I'm just going to stir the pigment in the pot. I'm not going to scrape it off or anything, I'm just going to take it out, put in a fair blob in, put that into my cup and give that a stir, and we'll see how that looks. I thought for my druzy crystal it might be nice to have the hazelnut latte at the beginning, and then put clear on top of that, so that the tips of the druzy crystal look like the hazelnut latte, and then the bottom of the druzy crystal is clear. So I think that's my plan there. That's a nice colour, that. Happy with that. So then I'll do my white. So again, I'm just going to mix my pigment. White seems a lot thicker, but I'm just going to give it a good stir. Again, I'm not scraping it off like we do with the flowers, but I don't want too much, so I have scraped a little bit off because I have only got a little bit of resin in there. I'll give this a good stir. Okay, so here goes. So I'm going to start off by putting down a little bit of the hazelnut latte into the druzy crystal mould. As I said, I just want this to go into the tips of the mould really. And just pour some in and then I'll just stop and move it around. Going into the tips. I always keep one of these moulds on hand for when I've got excess resin. I think I've probably shown you before when I've used them to use up excess resin, but I don't have one in the colours that I want, so I'm just making one here. Okay, so that's all in the tips I think now. So I'll fill that up in a minute. I'm going to we'll add some of this hazelnut to the base mould. I'll do it in stripes I think, and I can blend it together with a little bit of the white. I'm going to fill up my teddy bear mould and my bunny mould. Don't know whether to do them all the way to them. I'm going to do my teddy bear all the way to the top in the hazelnut latte. And then my bunny, I think I'm going to might do my bunny white. Might do his ears white and do the rest of his body clear. Do the teddy bear's tail and scrape out the rest of this hazelnut latte so we've got enough for the bear's tail. Can't have a bear without a tail. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with my clear on top of my crystals just to solidify them, set those in place. I'm going to spread my clear around a little. It's difficult to tell how deep my base is. I might need a little bit more resin here, but we'll see how we go in a minute. So I'm just pouring white into the bunny's head. Let's see where the bunny's head ends. That's about the end. Let me make sure I've got right down to the bottom of the ears. Just do a little squidgy. Perhaps a little bit more white. And then I think the rest of the bunny can be clear, but I do think I'm going to need to make a little bit more resin up. I don't want the tray to be too thin. I want it to have some depth to it. So I'm going to add some more clear to the tray. And then I'm going to add the rest of the clear to my druzy crystal mould. I am going to need some more resin. I'll go make some more resin up in a sec. I'm going to put my gold leaf around where the crystals are, where the crystals are. Spread that out a little bit. Just highlight those. Spread that in a few places. Okay, so that's all my gold leaf in there. I'm just going to pause the video while I make some more resin. Okay, I've made up some more resin and I've decided I'm going to do all of my bunny in white. I'm just going to make up a little bit more white. I've done extra, but I can use the extra in the main mould for the base in the heart shape. Just let me wipe my stick because I never double dip. I don't like dipping my resin stick into my pots. So I was getting some white pigment. Again, I'm just giving it a little stir, taking out some white. Pop it into the tub, or into my cup rather. And I'm using these silicone cups, and I've got using a popsicle stick, and I've got pigment or something on my stick. I like to squeeze the cup and drag the stick out so that the cup actually gets all the pigment off of the stick, the popsicle stick, and it makes it much easier that way. Okay, so there's the rest of my white. So I'm going to finish filling up my bunny. Wasn't really a bad estimate on how much I needed there. I'm just going to add a little bit more white into the heart shape. We'll make it a little bit more wispy in a minute, just spread it out a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little bit more resin just to my glass crystals to make sure they are fixed good and solid. Add a little bit more. And then I'm going to top up my druzy crystal with the clear. Just top that up to the top. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit in to make sure I've got this bear's tail done. That'll be okay. And I've just got a little tiny bit of clear left. I'm just going to use that in the base mould. Make sure I've got enough on the crystals, and that's it. that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to make my white a little bit more wispy. I don't want too much negative space. I want a bit of negative space around where the crystals are. Then I want the gold flakes around there. But I don't want too much negative space on the rest of it. I just want it a little bit wispy. So there we go. That's it. That's all I'm going to do with that for now. So I'm going to leave that to cure up until tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'll be back to demold and decide whether we're using the bunny or the bear and the druzy crystal. And that's it. I'll be back tomorrow to put them all together, so it's a nice, quick and easy one, this one. So that's it. I'll say bye for now, and I'll be back soon. See you soon. Hi, welcome back. This is the little trinket tray and the accompanying decorations. I couldn't think of the word. The accompanying decorations that I made yesterday. So I'm going to start off by demolding the actual tray itself, and I'm happy with that. Oh, it's nice from the back as well. I'll be keeping it that way around because it's got the texture from the glass crystals at the front, which is really nice. It does show nicely at the back, but I will be keeping it that way around. It's actually a little bit thicker than maybe I needed to make it, it was difficult to tell how thick it was going in the mould. Maybe next time I'll put a mark up the side of the mould so I know how thick to actually make it. But I'm happy with that. I do like it. So let's unmold. What should we do next? Let's try and do the rabbit. It's the first time I've used this mould, so I'm not sure how easily it will demold. Let's see. Now, when I did it yesterday, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to use the rabbit or the bear. So let's see. Oh, the rabbit's got a nice pattern on his chest and his arms, actually. Got a little bunny tail at the back. Just trying to get his head out. Here it comes. What it did do before it popped back in there. There we go. You see the little pattern on his chest? Quite detailed, and on his legs as well. I hope I've not got any bubbles on his ears. That's what I've got my fingers crossed for. I don't want bubbles on his ears, especially the tips of the ears. He's got the same pattern as he's got on his legs and his face. It just adds that little bit of extra detail, which is really nice. There we go. That's very cute. Try and show you all the way around him. He's very cute. I'm not sure what he will look like if he was sat there, or if the bear will look better, but let's have a look at both and we'll see. So let's demold the bear now. Again, it's the first time I've used this mould as well, so I'm not sure what this one will be like. But let's see. The head seems to be the hardest part to demold. I find it easier to do it next to my chest as well, with my arms closer to me, but that means you can't actually see what I'm doing on the screen, so it's makes it difficult because I'm trying to make it so you can see. There we go, it's coming out easier now. I'm trying to make it so you can see what I'm doing. I don't want you to miss anything, but I'm trying to make it easy to demold at the same time. So there's the bunny and there's the bear, and I think I actually like them both. I think the bear would look very nice on there, but I also think the bunny would look nice because the bunny would stand out more. I suppose I could use them both, but then that might be a bit crowded. I think looking at the colours, I like the bear better because he sort of fits in more with the colours on the heart-shaped trinket tray. Let's demold this crystal druzy and we'll see what that looks like. That might help us make our minds up. That's come out nicely too. I did want it a little bit more so that the colour was just literally on the tips and then the rest of it was crystal, but it's not quite worked out like that, but I'm still happy with it. And it will still be going on there. I'm not sure exactly where yet. I'm not sure how I'll arrange it, but I will be putting two pieces on there, so I'm not sure whether it will be the bunny and the crystal, or if it will be the bear and the crystal. I think possibly the bear and the crystal, to be honest, but I am happy with that. I really do like that, and I like the texture from the glass crystals down the edges as well, on the curve and at the bottom there. I've used these glass crystals quite a bit in the last few projects, and I am really liking them. I've had them quite a while and just not used them very often, but I have really liked them in the projects that I've used them for. So I'm sure I'll be using them more and more. So yeah, so I just need to decide how to arrange this and get them stuck down. I'll take some final shots, some still shots, and I'll add them to the end of the video so you can see whichever one I don't use, whether it's the bunny or the bear, then I'll probably do another trinket tray and use that one on that trinket tray. It'll certainly get used in another project anyway. So that's it. So I will be back soon with another experiment, and I will say bye for now. See you soon.